Hey there, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to have a great webinar today with Arian Holland joining us today from Assurity. As you guys have questions, please type your questions in the question box on your control panel at the bottom on the right side of your screen. We will answer questions at the end of the presentation as well. Also, under the handout section, you will find a social media playbook that we'll be also working off of today that you can download for your own use. And after the webinar, please feel free to give me a call to receive a copy of today's webinar and to answer any additional questions you may have. Thanks again for joining us today. Arian, go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. Thank you for having me today. Just to give you a little bit of background, like Alex said, my name is Arian Holland. I am a regional wholesaler here at Assurity Life Insurance Company. I have been with Assurity for about 9 years in various positions. I've kind of moved into some internal positions, and then I found my home here in the sales department. So today we're going to talk about social media. So just going through today's agenda, we're going to talk about some opportunities that you can find on social media, what people want, and the best way to deliver that. We'll go over some prospecting and some recruiting tips, and then we'll give you some tools that actually help you take action, some things that you may not have known before. So what is social selling? Social selling is the practice of targeting, prospecting, and building relationships on social media. 78% of sales professionals who use social media perform better than their peers who do not. And right now you have an opportunity where you have a fairly captive audience. People who had previously left social media are back. They're looking for general interaction. So social media is booming. No one wants to be left behind as others move to social media for their prospecting and recruiting needs. So we're going to show you how to get there. According to McKinsey & Company, 30% of agents say lead generation is their biggest challenge. A 2019 study found that up to 82% of potential prospects can be found online. So with the shift that we've had in our environment, imagine what that is now. Getting on social media can significantly improve the number of quality leads agents find and solve a major pain point. So before working to improve your social media strategy, it's really important to figure out where you currently are. You can ask yourself these questions to identify pain points, areas to improve, as well as test your own knowledge of social media best practices. Are you using social media to reach the audience you want to? Prospects, clients, and recruits can all easily be reached over social media. You might also consider which audiences you want to reach. Who is your target market? What is the best way to strengthen your social media presence? Think about areas that you know you can improve on, whether it be starting more conversations, posting more frequently, or even getting more reviews. How are you measuring your goals? We'll discuss setting goals later on, but if you have any, like getting more recruits, are you keeping track of how social media has helped you and how you can replicate that success? So you'll see faster results if you start your social media strategy with goals in mind. So these goals could be finding more prospects, attracting better recruits to your business, establishing a better reputation for yourself, and gaining more influence. Once you've figured out what you're looking to achieve, measure your results to reflect on what you did to further your goal and repeat successful tactics until you find what works best for you. Don't spend time on things that aren't working. Focus your efforts on what brings you closer to your goals. So stand out from the crowd and show you're not just another broker by focusing on your particular brand. Make sure your message and content is similar across all platforms. Consistency is key. Being a generalist is fine, but you'll get more attention if you establish your area of expertise up front. Demonstrate your value by giving special attention to recent successes like client testimonials or awards that you've won. Show that you're a resource for clients by giving out useful information like educational content and requesting satisfied clients leave their reviews. So gone are the days where someone pulls your name out of a phone book. We've entered the age of social media reconnaissance, or so I like to call it. First impressions are important, even on social media. Including high quality images like a professional headshot where you're smiling, high resolution logo, or maybe an eye catching banner can make a huge difference. Don't leave anything blank if possible. Completely fill out your about section with what you do, areas of expertise, and past experience. Make sure contact information is prominent. Things like your email, your phone number, website should be easy to find. Link to other sites and pages you own, like additional social media profiles, your website and blog if you have one. So I can't tell you how many times I've been looking for agent information or just information to a broker, and I'm looking online and I'm Googling, and the hardest part is finding a phone number, which should be easy. If I can't find that information, how is your client going to find that information? Make it easily accessible. Figuring out what to post doesn't have to be a chore. There are a few guidelines that you can follow to select your content and post what your audience actually wants to see. Make sure the content adds value. Advertisements do not. Instead, share things like educational articles or tools they can use to learn more about their own needs. Things like studies or statistics are always helpful too. Don't just share the article. Add your own thoughts at the beginning. If you're at a loss for where to begin, you can simply write a sentence or two about why you think it's valuable. Your own thoughts and analysis go a long way towards establishing you as an expert. Vary where you get your content from. If every article you share is from the same carrier or site, your objectivity might be in question. Give your audience content from a wider range of sources to boost your credibility. So there are plenty of opportunities on social media, and they're varying depending on which platform you're using. Some will be better for prospecting, others recruiting, and some for getting your name out online. So we're going to go over the major opportunities for Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and how you can optimize your time on each individual platform. So first up, we have Facebook. No surprise here, Facebook is the #1 most used platform among all adults. Facebook is a great place to connect with your middle market prospects and is a hotbed for data on life events. People use Facebook to inform friends and relatives of what's going on in their lives. So pay attention here. It's going to serve you well later. On this platform, you also have the opportunity to build that trust and provide quality content. So I can tell you that with the way things have kind of shifted in our environment, I personally wasn't on social media for a very long time. I have now switched to that. And I do find that I look at different articles, and if I'm looking to hire somebody for something, I'm actually looking on Facebook for that and then going off and looking for more details offline. So I can definitely tell you that this is working for me. So next up, we have LinkedIn. If you're looking to recruit, this is the place to do it. It's also the place to build a strong, supportive network of like-minded professionals. If you like an article a colleague posted, grab that and post it on your Facebook. Borrow others' content and make it your own. There's no need to reinvent the wheel here. Find groups that may fit criteria you want to target and join them. If you're looking at business owners, find a group dedicated to them and join in. Build your network, be strategic. And I've actually done this as well. I joined a women's group from Omaha, and we found a lot of business connections through that and a lot of useful information as well. And finally, we have YouTube. YouTube is the place to teach, and great teachers have many followers. So this is a great place to set yourself up as an authority and interact with different viewers. Knowledge is power, and consumers are looking for that power. Be their source for that information. One thing that we have seen a lot recently, just with the move to home for a lot of people, is people are really going out online and searching for information. They're not only searching for maybe an insurance agent, but they're running out to YouTube, to ask questions like, what is critical illness? What is term life insurance? What is return of premium? You can be the opportunity there to be their source for that information and help them along the way. So your audience doesn't want to see insurance advertisements. They're looking to build trust, build relationships, and maintain relationships with people that they already know. So to reach an audience on social media, you need to understand their goals. Are they trying to raise a family, save for retirement, maybe advance in their career? So what challenges are they facing? What are their frustrations? By looking at social media and more importantly, by interacting with people on social media, you can find out what motivates them and what services they may benefit from. The most important element is showing true empathy and making the person you're talking to feel empowered and confident. That's something that a lot of people are lacking right now. Let them know that you're the expert and that you can help them with their needs. So social media is all about building relationships. So that can be with potential clients, broker colleagues, or maybe sources for referrals. The best ways to build relationships might vary depending on which platform you're going to use and how you're going to use them. But there are some general guidelines and best practices for building relationships on social media. Listen closely and answer questions that you have expertise in, taking care to respond promptly and accurately. When you see someone post a question you can answer, do it. That will open up many doors for you. Interact regularly with your network and start conversations that you can take offline. This is key. It can be as simple as liking and commenting on a post, or you can initiate a conversation via message if the opportunity presents itself. The main point is that you have to do more than just posting. You can't just post things and expect people to come, running to you. You have to really interact with those people. Post valuable content that actually helps your network. That could be an educational video, an update from the office that makes your followers laugh. Valuable content isn't an advertisement. And again, it's not an advertisement. Before posting anything, consider how it helps your audience and maybe think about things that you have seen. How do certain articles make you feel? What have you found useful? Maintain connections that you already have. Keep them warm. A LinkedIn connection isn't the end goal. You're aiming to start a fruitful professional relationship. Send a note every now and then to check in or comment on a connection status update. Let them know that you're there and you're thinking about them. Ask questions to turn a post into a conversation. Asking for feedback or thoughts on a topic is a good way to solicit comments from your followers and potentially start a larger discussion. People want to feel involved. They want to feel like their opinion is valuable. You can do that for them, and this is very simple. So you don't have to start a social media profile from scratch. You already have a network of friends, families, colleagues, clients, mentors, classmates, everyone you've talked to and worked with before. So they're a great place to start social media building and maintain a presence or create a presence. Ask them to review you on LinkedIn or Facebook. Like and comment on their posts and request they do the same for you. Share relevant content they've posted. And I love this third one. Sharing relevant content someone else has posted makes them feel valuable. It makes them feel like they, have something to offer, and then they'll want to reciprocate that. Showing activity and existing relationships automatically makes you more authoritative and trustworthy to someone who might find your page. So if somebody goes out to your page and sees information and shows that you have regular interactions with people, they're going to think to themselves, hey, this is an authority. This is a place that I may find valuable information, and they're going to want more. So one of the top ways to improve your prospecting efforts on social media is through a practice called social listening. So that's when you watch your social media feed or search to find areas for interaction and starting conversations based off of those interactions. Social listening can be passive or it can be an active activity. You can simply keep an eye on your feed and look for opportunities, or you can search for life event triggers like selling a house, new baby, or maybe a new job, among others. When you see an opportunity to start a conversation, take it. So for instance, if you see someone looking for a realtor, you can comment with the name of one you've used in the past. It's far easier to start a conversation when you've already provided help and value to someone. So this should be your top priority. Keep in mind that this is just an introduction. Don't immediately go for the sale. Once you've made that warm handshake, keep an eye open for chances to follow up. To keep with our example, if you later see the person has bought a home, you can send them a message congratulating them and offering further advice. So, hey, congratulations on your home from Realtor A. They're a great realtor. I'd love to sit down and talk more about your financial goals and how you're settling in. So the same ideas apply in other areas as well. someone looking for a new physician or a plumber, someone looking for recommendations on dog parks, wherever you can provide real value and potentially start a conversation. So some takeaways: providing value. In this case, a recommendation is a great way to develop and deepen relationships with people who might be potential clients, recruits, or sources of referrals. People would rather message you on Facebook than call or email. It's an ideal place to start a conversation, but be sure to take the discussion offline at a natural point later. People know when you're selling something. Be sure to look for opportunities to engage genuinely and focus on the person and the relationship first. This will go a long way. So social media has also been a great place to search for possible recruits, especially on LinkedIn. So I'm going to walk you through how a simple search can land you a qualified candidate that you may not have otherwise found. So begin by searching for phrases that might indicate someone is looking for a job. Examples of this are seeking opportunity or recently graduated, something job seekers will often put in their LinkedIn pages. Once you've searched, you can narrow down the pool of possible recruits by geography, experience, or maybe shared connections. Shared connections are an important factor for recruiting, especially if you both know the same person. It's much easier to get your foot in the door and start that conversation. You can and should also ask that shared connection about the potential recruit ahead of time to do some advanced vetting. Make sure they're going to be a good fit for you. Once you've located some ideal candidates, you'll want to send them a message, something like, "Hello, my name is Ariane. I see we have a shared connection of Mary. She thought you'd be a great candidate for the position that we have open at Assurity. Do you have time this week for a call to talk more about that position?" It's as easy as that. So before you know it, you'll find potential recruits that you may not have otherwise found. So professional networking sites like LinkedIn, they're a great place to find professional quality hires, and it's easy to get an idea of who they are by looking at their profile and their connections. They put all that information out there for you, and if they did what we said prior, it should be no problem to see all of that. Connections are key. In fact, job candidates are 46% more likely to accept a message when they're connected to someone you're connected to. Looking online is one of the best ways to find candidates who you would otherwise never see in your job listings. Your talent pool can increase up to 10 times when you recruit through a network. So now I'm going to go over a few tips on having conversations. Engagement is key to starting and having those conversations. So a top tip for getting followers is to follow others yourself. People love this. It's free, it's easy, and it automatically lets someone see you. Follow back anybody who follows you and follow new profiles that you see. Make sure you're not missing out on the conversation. Check to see if anybody has mentioned you or, at you. Make sure that they engage. So reply to any messages you receive. The faster, the better. So that shows that you're accountable, you're ready to help. It also gives you a great way to keep the conversation going. If you post something like you were talking to a client or colleague about earlier, mention them, tag them. The same goes for if you're talking about a person or a business. It's a really, really good way to get comments and start conversations with those that you include in your post. And you'll be really surprised at how receptive people are to this. So make sure that you know whoever you're asking fairly well when you're asking for an introduction. You don't want to approach strangers and ask for an introduction to somebody they know. First of all, you don't know what you're going to get out of that. And second of all, it probably isn't going to go over very well. Let them know why you're looking to meet their connection and how you think that you can help them. People are often very, very eager to help if you're bringing value to others that they know. They want to be a party to that. Before you ask for an introduction, be sure that whoever you're looking to meet is a good fit for your business. The last thing you want to do is make an introduction and then have to turn them away. That's not a conversation we want to get into. So for example, "Hey there, Kathy, I saw that you're connected to Bob on LinkedIn. I think that I can help them with, whatever it is you can help them with, critical illness, disability. I was hoping you could make an introduction. Would you mind putting me in contact with them? Or maybe you can help them with the job." So people love to do this. They really want to be able to help them. So the best time to ask for referrals is when talking to a satisfied client. This one is pretty obvious. If they're happy with the service that they've received, they're more likely to pass your name to the friends or family that they have. So using relevant topics like life events, trends, shared interests, those can be a good segue into asking for that referral. So for instance, if you're asking a lawyer client to refer other lawyers, that's going to have a better chance of success than if you were to ask them to refer some random club or something that they don't even belong to. Doesn't have to be crazy again, don't have to reinvent the wheel here. Referrals are a two-way street. If you refer to your clients to somebody before, using a reciprocal approach is a good option. So example here, hey Dave, I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. I've really enjoyed getting to know you and your situation over the last years, and right now I actually have some openings to take on new clients. Is there anyone you know that could benefit from the same services? Meeting the friends and family of my clients is always a pleasure, and I'd love to help them in a professional capacity as well. So as you can see here, as opposed to saying, I'm looking to write more business, they said, hey, I'm actually looking to take on new clients because I have some openings. So that's really good wording to use and tends to have really good results. So taking the conversation offline, explain why you think the prospect would be a good fit. Set up a concrete time to talk over the phone or in person. Get directly to the point. Prospects know whether they're interested, and pursuing a sale that won't happen is a waste of your time and theirs. But don't move too quickly. You should take this step once you built that solid rapport and know that the prospect has interest in your services. So for example, it's great to hear that you're looking to protect your financial future, especially now that you've closed on your new home. I'd love to have a chance to explain more about what your options are. Would there be a good time for me to call you next week? And this is where this is important. We left it open, but when they come back, counter. Oh, I'm open on Tuesday. Okay, how is 11:30? Make sure it's concrete. So have you seen there's a lot of ways to implement social media in your business, no matter how you choose to go about it. So here are some best practices that you should stick with to maximize your results. Make it personal. Your social media shouldn't be all business. Like we mentioned earlier, you're selling yourself here. Feel free to ask for recommendations for a plumber or post about a proud life moment. You'll be more trustworthy if people can see that you're a real human and not a walking advertisement. So I think this is really important. I think we all kind of get bogged down in this sometimes, we want to be human and people want to know that we're human, and people want to know that when you're having a conversation with them that you'll be open to just having an organic conversation and won't go straight for that sale. Start a conversation. It's great to post and reply, but if you want to invite dialogue, you can try something like message me or send me an email if you've got questions to your post. That will help build relationships that might one day lead to sales. So I like the send me an email option or message me option a lot. I think a lot of people sometimes are, hesitant to ask questions of people, but letting them know that you're an expert and you're there just to help them goes a long way. Stay friendly and professional. That may sound obvious, but a single post in poor taste can really stymie the rest of your social media efforts. Try and stay away from touchy subjects like politics, religion. Make sure to keep your cool online. What do they say? Nothing in the internet ever disappears. It's amazing the way that people can really dig into the past and find information. So the sooner that you keep it consistent and above bar, the better. Cross promotion is key. This will supercharge your social media results. So like try linking your website to your social media posts, or linking other things to your social media, like posts from your website. So that will allow people to get more engaged with you. So keep in mind that these links should feel natural, not forced into the post. So let's say you come across something during your day that made you think about something, maybe talk about that event and then organically work that post in. Don't just put that post out. Remember, you don't want to just throw articles out there. You want to make them personal, give them more of that connection. Keep it short and sweet. Nobody wants to read a novel on Facebook. I know I don't. So keep your post to a reasonable length. Ideally, your connection should be able to read the whole post without clicking read more. Save your long form content for articles like LinkedIn, or you could even break this information up. So you have, something long that you want to post. Maybe you can break it up into different posts that you can kind of post over the week. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So images and video, those are going to grab your audience's attention, and they're going to make it more likely that they'll click on or read your post. And I'm sure if you look back and things that you've clicked on or things that you've looked at, you can think in your mind things that you really liked or that you wanted to hear more about. A lot of them tend to have pictures. So you want to consistently post to help with discovery and to appear active, but you don't want to flood your followers with posts. We're not trying to overdo it here. So you're going to need to strike a good balance on each platform. So on Facebook, you're going to want to post at least 3 times a week, but no more than 10. And I'll say that again, at least 3 times a week, but no more than 10. LinkedIn will ideally have 2 to 5 posts each week. So again, 2 to 5. Post a video once every other week on YouTube if you want to have the best results there. So the time of day that you post is also going to affect how many people see it. It depends on the platform you use, but generally Postmates toward like the beginning or the end of the workday, those are going to be more visible. So there are plenty of tools out there that can help you make content, make that easy for you. So here are some choices that you can start with, but there are a lot of other options out there as well. These are just some that we use here internally at Assurity. So answer the public. What are your clients and prospects looking for when it comes to content? So the best source is to dissect raw search results. Answer the public listens into autocomplete data from search engines like Google, and then it quickly cranks out every useful phrase and question people are asking around your keyword. So those questions and phrases that can be used for original posts from you. Next up, we have Alltop. So if you're looking for news to share, this is a great platform. You can search any topic you want and get the latest headlines in real time, and that allows you to share them in a timely and relevant manner, and that lets you get to your audience whenever you want. So it actually aggregates all of these topics into one, so it's a great source for information. Canva. So if you're looking to spruce up your visuals, that's the service you want to go to. Canva lets you create eye-catching social media graphics to make your posts pop without needing to become like a graphic designer, because we can't always pay for those. It's available on desktop and mobile for wherever you want to make graphics. So all of this information that I just talked to you about and all the things we went over, we've actually put into different social media pieces for you. So we wanted to make it easy. Don't worry about writing all of your own content. Other sources can help you start like these books here. So Assurity has some social media kits filled with pre-made consumer-facing posts that you can simply copy, paste, and post. So we have 5 kits available, and Alex has access to all of those. We have a disability income insurance social media kit. We have a critical illness media kit, life insurance social media kit. We have a recruiting social media kit, and prospecting for life events social media kit. So these are really great. When you open them up, you can click on individual pieces and different posts, and they're all there for you. So all you have to do is click on that post and copy and paste it. It's that simple. So we've taken all of the work out of it for you. Okay, so I would like to open it up for questions, but first I'd like to say thank you again for having me. Our marketing team has worked really, really hard to put all this together. So if there's something that you have with regards to social media that I can't answer, I'll be more than happy to get that information from Alex, and we can talk to our marketing team about that as well.
Yeah, thanks again, Arian. Again, great information on how to use social media to grow your business here. We'll give it a minute here. I haven't had too many questions come in. I think you just did a really thorough job there. But I will say, just kind of throw my 2 cents in there, that with social media, even if you haven't really grown up with it, a lot of it is going to be just the same as you would in person. If you're used to networking and recruiting out in the public and shaking hands and meeting people and going to events, a lot of that is what social media already is. It's just online, and you can access it a lot faster, and it's free. You can recruit from there. You can start conversations with people in your network. Like Arian was saying, you can join groups like she was saying as well. And that's just the same as going to all those different conferences and different seminars and networking events. You can network through those. Make sure you're not abusing the group and you know the rules of what the group is used for, but a lot of great ways to network and really just broaden your network. And social media can also be a little bit of a quote-unquote longer sale as you build that book of business, if you will, online, but it'll pay dividends in the long term for sure.
Yep, totally agree. It's really interesting if you try to join different groups, that are applicable to you on LinkedIn. I've actually had quite a few of them reach out to me. So those ones have been really, really interactive, and I've really enjoyed those as well. But they also open you up to different ways to learn, and you can watch the way that different people interact on social media and take cues from them as well.
Yep. Well, doesn't look like there's too many other questions. If you guys do have questions, feel free to reach out. I'd love to have a conversation about how you can start to utilize this and start to grow your network and really just start to use it to find leads, especially in today's day and this environment. It's definitely useful when we can't do a lot of face-to-face stuff. So other than that, Erin, anything from you?
Nope. Just let me know if you need anything, Alex, and we thank you again for having us.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, if you need anything, give us a call, send us an email at life@jetter.com if you have any additional questions, or if you would like to get some of those social media kits that Erin was talking about as well. So thanks again, everyone, and have a great day.